All right, here we go. Hello and welcome to another edition of Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman, and I'm joined by my usual cohorts, Uncle Joe McLaughlin, and he's JP's first son, Tim Hoey. Well, we have another great show for you tonight. So, boys, let's get it started. We have to start with the Boston Celtics. We'll start with Joe. Joe, it felt like the first game against Cleveland 2 nights ago was like a regular season game, February 8th. There was no, it never,
sure.
it didn't seem competitive. The crowd wasn't into it. That nobody was really busting their ass too much on the court. Is this already a fait accompli this series? And I mean, it feels administrative where we're just filling in the score and get it's either 4 or 5 games.
Well, we'll see. You know, the Celtics have a history of getting very, very complacent and just loafing through a couple of games and losing them, don't they? Over the last 7 years with the two Jays, that has been their history. We're all hoping they're a different team this year, but they have a very bad history of being loafers.
Timmy, look, the fact is that the MVP of the Heat series and Game 1, and I would argue with you, if he wasn't on the court, we may have gone to 7 games with the Heat, and we may have lost on Tuesday. Derek White he's the answer.
My goodness, he's everything you could want from a basketball player. You know,
his
attitude, he doesn't seem to get rattled. The moment doesn't seem to affect him. He's the same guy night in and night out.
I'll argue he's even better in the playoffs.
Even better. Like he's one of those guys who, welcomes the moment. Yeah. You know.
And for people who are watching the games, Derek White scores a lot of points when the defense has played 23 seconds of tight defense on the Celtics. He hits a lot of late second shots with a 24-second violation. That they're game changers.
The 3-pointer from the left side is the last second shot. He hits them almost every time.
Who used to be taking that shot?
Oh no, of course it was Marcus.
Well, they play the same position, off guard, not the shooting guard.
So I mean, opposing teams have to be very upset. The goal used to be to get the ball to Marcus Smart's hands with the clock winding down, right?
Yeah.
Well, now you do that, you're going to get punished.
I mean, look, a lot of criticism for Jason Tatum, which is absolutely ludicrous. He is playing an all-around game. But the fact is, if you look at the game closely in the game film, at times they're triple teaming Jason Tatum,
which opens up for other people.
Right.
You know, he had I put a Larry Bird type game. You know, you don't realize everything he's done until you really look back on the game. You know, draw everyone to him and facilitate with his teammates. That's Bird-esque.
He scored the first 4 points of the game for the Celtics, by the way.
Game's on already.
Oh, and there goes Al.
4-2.
7-2.
Oh, I thought the game was on at 7:30. Oh, all right. Okay. I
was freaking people out at my meeting last night. I was streaming the game in front of them, and the goal would pop up for Florida, and I go, 3-1. They go, what? What are you talking about? I go, they're gonna score. And I go, how did you know? I had them go for a while.
No, look, you make a great point, Timmy. Jason Tatum's a great rebounder.
He's got length. He's got shoulders now.
Well, and neither, Bam Adebayo was getting 18, 20 rebounds a game, but Cleveland doesn't have a center right now. So, Jared Allen's been hurt.
Hey, I have to go put an additional sweater on. I'll be right back. Sorry.
Look, Joe. That's the thing in the series with the Heat, and now even with this series with Cleveland, is Luke Cornett plays a huge role because of his height.
Yeah, I don't know if Allen is playing tonight. If he was saying no, they were saying yes. So and we can't really watch the game closely while we're doing the show here.
Yeah,
but
No, I don't. Doesn't look like he's in there, Joe.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, they basically they have a what Mobley is their center. I mean, they don't have a center.
right, and
And
yeah,
and going forward, the Knicks have lost their center for the year
yeah,
in Mitchell.
yeah.
He's
Mitchell
gone.
Robinson and Randall are gone. Yeah, with that Hartenstein.
And Bogdanovich is gone for the season.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of things are opening up. Yeah, I don't.
And did you see Jalen Brunson was hurt last night? And OG Anunoby left the game with a hamstring. That means he probably won't be back the rest of the year.
Yeah, things are working out really well. We're talking about the injuries that the Knicks have
Yes,
faced.
but that steamroller in Minnesota there with I'll tell you
So,
that
wait,
Jaden McDaniels is, I love Drew Holiday, but Jaden McDaniels is a better defensive player than anyone on the
wait,
Celtics by far. And
try
then
to go
Rudy
back a little
Gobert
bit.
too.
Did you say that the Knicks lost some important players?
4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, Mitchell Robinson is gone for the season. Of course, they've
Bogdanovich.
lost Julius Randle. And
Bogdanovich is done for the season.
yeah,
OG Anunoby might be done for the season. And Brunson got hurt last night. He was
he came
hurt.
back. He
Yeah.
played really well, Joe. But I
He
mean,
Oh
is
yeah, the fourth
unbelievable,
quarter
huh?
he went crazy.
My
He-
God, is he unbelievable?
he's having a Isaiah Thomas season.
No, if you took stock now, he's the MVP. He's just carrying that team.
Oh my
Carrying
God.
Get on my
them.
back and
Carrying
I'll
them.
do it. Yeah.
I mean, I watched the highlights. Every shot is him. Every
Yeah.
shot.
But he hits it from every angle, and anything in from 15, where depending on where he is, he hits everything. The guy's
And when they need it most, they just give it to him, and he'll go 1-on-4, 1-on-5, and still scores.
so. Obviously, we're not going to jump the gun, but I will ask the question. You put Holiday and White on him, right?
Yeah, it would. It all depends. But I would say Holiday or White or Pritchard. The 3 of them will all get him.
Would you see?
You might get if he was a really big problem, they'd put Jaylen Brown on.
That's what I was thinking. That Jalen would get some time maybe with him. What you got to try to do is tire him out, Timmy. Right? I mean, you got to just try to exhaust the kid.
Just wear him down. Yeah.
Well, it'll help where the Celtics do have big men, rim protectors. If KP's back and Cornette, those guys block shots, so he can't really drive to the hoop if they're there.
But Joe, he's one of those guys. It doesn't seem to matter who's defending him. He gets the shot off.
Yeah, he
I don't know
does.
why. I mean,
But I'm saying, what if he beats his defender, Tim? If you got a rim protector, he's got to stop and do the floater or the step back.
that ball's gonna have to go straight up in the air and
Celtics up.
like who does that? The kid from Golden State's the best out of that I've ever seen. Is
Steph Curry, yeah.
yeah, at that straight up in the air, the 90-degree shot.
Remember John Havlicek shooting over Kareem in the playoffs? The ball must have touched this one. He hit one. The ball just about touched the ceiling. The arc was incredible.
But I'll tell you, Brunson has impressed the shit out of me. I mean, I'm impressed. I never really noticed him before. I'll tell you,
because he was on Dallas. They gave him.
He was on that Dallas team,
and they gave him for nothing, just basically for nothing.
When did they trade him?
No, he just signed
2 years ago.
Agent. Signed as a free agent, right, Joe?
Yeah. No, I think it was a trade. Maybe a signing trade, but it was a trade.
Oh. I mean, if you put him in those, Kyrie and the other dude there, I mean, that's
Luka. I know. Right? I don't know why.
I mean, that's some offense right there. Was he dominant in Dallas?
Not like that.
No,
not like.
But he was like the third guard too.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
He wasn't getting the minutes he's getting now.
Well, he's probably
getting more minutes than he wants now.
Boy, they must be kicking themselves in the ass watching this show he's putting on.
Well, I think they kind of traded Kyrie for Jalen and for Brunson and some.
Yeah, Luka and Kyrie. You're not worried about what Jalen Brunson is doing in New York because you got 2 top guys on your team.
And obviously
you know?
they're in they're in this playoff round. I mean, and they're a competitive teams, and they've made the adjustment. We thought that was going to be a nightmare, those two, right? And
I didn't think it would work. It's worked
no,
very well.
I know it's a huge surprise. So, kudos to the Cuban. He figured, figured he could
I'll
change. the
go
and
with the
he did.
coach there on that, somehow making that work.
Who's the coach in Dallas? Or is
I
it
can't
Kidd?
remember now.
I guess it's Jason Kidd, probably, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And he just got an extension, too.
Yes, 14-5.
Oh, did you hear? We lost one of our assistant coaches.
Yeah, Lee.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Charles Lee as the new head coach of the Hornets.
Good luck to him on that. He'll
I
be
know
fired
that's a
in
bad
2 years.
team. And they always get screwed in the lottery. They'll have they should get either the first or the second pick, and they end up with the 8th pick. They always end at the bottom of the lottery.
Now that he makes that jump to head coach, now he's in that conversation when anyone's looking for a coach.
Yeah.
It's like he's graduated. Yeah, graduated to the next tier, kind of.
Yeah, he's got that on his resume now. That's nice.
Yeah.
But remember, that's money. That's life-changing money for the rest of his, for generations. You figure they get
Instead of making $100,000 a year as a coach, you're making, a couple million.
More, right? He's probably 3 or 4 million, right? You would assume each year. For head coaching position in the NBA, there's only 30 of them.
Will he get to oh no, Grandpa's gone from there.
Oh no, he's in OKC, and Grandpa was trending a few nights ago because everybody was dreading in OKC whenever they put him in. They hate him as much as we hate him, and he's only been on the team like a few weeks. But you watch some stupid team, because I think he's a free agent after this year, will give him a big deal.
What if it's the Celtics? Will you be furious?
No, it's not. Celtics don't have any money to do that. There's no way.
No, they're not going to. He's made a ton of money for very little effort.
300 million.
I know.
For very little accomplished. Not much production there, but a lot of money coming in.
Is he in the 30 million range right now?
Oh,
yes.
Yes.
He was over that. He was like 36 million a year.
He's made over $300 million in his career. He's the Kirk Cousins of the NBA.
And all he does is sit home and play video games. So
now, do you think him being?
He's not spending it either.
A little sensitive. Could you think him being white adds to his value?
Yes. Is the microphone on? Yes, of course it does. Of course he's a stiff. The guy, first of all, he has perfected not playing and saying he's hurt better than anyone.
Him and Grandpa go to the same.
That was a devastating injury.
Him and Sale go to the same school for that.
Okay, fellas.
We had to watch that last night too.
He has made over $270 million in his career.
Another good contract, and he's all set for that 300 mark.
Oh, that's some serious coin.
Yeah, that's I've heard that's a lot of money. So look, Celtics 16-11. Do you have any worries right now, Joe, about what's going on as far as the Celtics personnel, or is it everything pretty much the way you expected in round 2?
I think it's pretty much the way I've expected. We only had one game so far, so it's hard to see, but that was a boat race from start to finish. That I mean, he had Spencer Tillman in there, the 11th, 12th guy on the bench in there in the first half, not in garbage time, in the first half. He was emptying the bench early and often.
Yeah. Timmy, any worries about this series?
But I think they'll have a game where they're just atrocious from 3, and they might be susceptible.
Yeah, I would imagine they're probably, if they're going to lose a game, it'll probably be game 3. Where Cleveland will be coming pumped, being at home, and because if they were to go up 3-0, that's it. Cleveland's just going to phone it in, and they're not going to want to go back to Boston.
They'll be making reservations on the way home in the cab that night.
Yeah.
The Celtics team hitting on all 8 cylinders should not lose to anybody.
Right.
Well, the Minnesota and Denver are tough teams.
They are, but they're not. I mean, us playing at our best, we should not lose.
Well, them playing at their best too. You know,
So our best against their best. You don't think
I
we should
bet you
win?
it goes with either one. It'll be 7 games. If it should somehow work out OKC, I think we beat OKC in 6.
Yeah, I'd like to see OKC. I think that look, Minnesota's up 2-0 going back home. I think they could, I think it's a 5-game
They
series.
could sweep.
Or could sweep them. You could bet if Denver loses game 3 that's it. Jokic
And that's the defending champions. That Minnesota team is hellacious on defense, and they're like the Celtics. They like to shoot lots of threes.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun
So
series.
it'll be a
That'd
very
a real
interesting
fun
series.
Yeah, that'd be definitely interesting. All right, we're gonna go straight to the Bruins, and nobody knows the Bruins more than longtime season ticket holder Timmy Hoey. Timmy, look, we did what we needed to do. The score doesn't really matter. They won 5-1 in first game, and they lost 6-1 in the second game. Are you happy with the split?
In some ways, I am. In some ways, I'm not. I've never seen. We did it against Toronto. Where what we had one period, we had 2 shots. I think another period, we had 1 shot. I've never seen that in my life.
Well, they had that last
when this
night.
team,
That third period last night.
yeah,
Was
and that's what I was going to
atrocious.
say again last night. I've never seen they play when they go back on their heels. They really go back on their heels. They, I've seen periods where they're forechecking the shit out of the other team, and they're just all over them. I mean, Coyle's goal last night was because he forechecked the crap out of that guy and tracked him down and got the puck away. And I'm glad he ended up with the goal because he deserved that. I don't know. When they're bad, they're bad.
They really
I've never seen them like that bad when they're bad.
They just lost any sense of discipline in that third period. No one was doing their job. Not the forwards, not the defensemen. Everyone was doing the wrong thing. They couldn't get the puck out of their own end. They could, it was like a 20-minute power play for Florida.
I'm wondering if some genius video coach figured something out about the way they operate. It just takes away their ability to get shots on net. Maybe they clog up the inside or something. I don't know.
They got beat up as Florida set the record for the most hits they ever had in a game in the second period. And then we know what they did to us in the third period. We lost 15 out of 15 fights, lost them badly, lost them real bad. Pasta had his face beaten in that.
Yeah, at least he fought. That you don't have to win; you just have to fight in this league.
Did the wheels completely come off in the third period?
We sometimes forget.
Yes,
the playoffs are. It's big boy hockey. You can coast through the season with a bunch of little fast guys because people don't finish every check, and it just becomes like old time hockey, as Russ texted today. It's just you finish every check, you get the chance to lay the wood to somebody, you do it, and those are like body punches. They accumulate.
By the way, I thought getting Brazo and Maroon would help that, get a couple of big tough guys. But by the way, have you heard why was Maroon run yesterday? What did he get the misconduct for? He gets a 2-minute minor and a game misconduct? I never seen anything like that.
Well, I think they wanted him to leave. They knew he was going to be trouble, so they figured the game was.
Yeah, but then the Bruins got their ass kicked. I mean, they got beat up, mocked, laughed at, spit on. What's his name? Was doing the licking. Was after he scored, was licking at Marchand.
Marchand, yeah. I mean, who on this team can really fight? Frederick can hold his own. And Maroon. Marchand's a willing participant, but he's 5'6".
That was a great check in the first period he had on Kachuk.
That was a beautiful check. Oh my God.
Can Carlo
who can really go toe to toe other than Frederick and Maroon?
Can Carlo fight?
Carlo's not a
No.
good fighter. Coyle doesn't mind mixing up, but he's not very
Yeah, I
good at
mean,
it.
he should. He's a big. I mean, I wouldn't want to
Yeah.
fight Coyle in the street if you saw the guy. He's a
Yeah.
big dude, but he's not really a fighter. You know, we don't really have the old Boston brawlers. You know, I mean,
The big bad Bruins.
yeah, I long for those days.
All
You know,
right,
I used
game's
to
tied
say
up 21-21, guys. So they're the
that's what I
Cleveland.
missed about the Bruins. You know, the modern day Bruins. It used to be when a plane was landing in Boston. You know, that team knew that they were in for some bumps and bruises. They weren't getting on the plane to go home without some bumps and bruises. And those days are just over.
And then the team that took over for them, that knocked them off their perch, the Broad Street Bullies, was the same DNA type game.
Yeah,
Well, who do you think's in net for game 3?
I think Swayman is, and I think they'll pull him quick and pull Lombark if things aren't going right.
I'm going to take Russ's side here. I would put Almark in. Swayman's played an awful lot. They're not getting a lot of rest. It's been every other night. You know, even between series, it was every other night. He's not used to that kind of action, and I think he needs a blow. Give him a couple of days off and come back in game 4.
I
I
agree.
If
agree.
you lose
I
it,
do
you go
agree
down
with that.
2-1. Maybe he can tie it up for you. Become a 3-game series.
He's got to be fresh as a daisy. I mean,
Yeah.
rested.
Oh, Elmark, but you don't want Elmark getting rusty over there in case Swayman gets hurt.
Would you say that whoever wins tomorrow wins the series?
No, because
No.
the Bruins won the first game. You know, it's the odd numbered games are important, but you know, I wouldn't go that far. If the Florida wins, I would definitely make them the big favorites.
They've been
The jury's out for me. I mean, I could easily see Florida taking every game from here on in.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I really don't have a feel for how this
You
is
really
going to go.
think? I mean, I thought the Bruins should have been up minimum 3-0 in that first
They
period.
they hit some posts and
I thought they completely outplayed them. So I don't really. I don't. You know, I know the
they
Panthers are.
you know
huge
they
betting
had the
favorites.
Bruins beat them 4-0. Four
I
games
know.
to none during the regular season, then took that first game. So they had won 5 games in a row against them.
Hey, Cleveland's up by 4 right now. They're finding their mojo. The Celtics need to get their shit together here.
They got the second
They missed a lot.
Cornette, Hauser, Pritchard.
Yeah.
They're missing a lot of shots, a lot of gimmies.
A lot of threes they missed.
Yeah. You want to give a team life. We know, you know, obviously, now we're down by 7. All of a sudden, this is starting to feel like the Miami Heat game 2. Oh my God, is my night going to be ruined?
Last night wasn't ruined enough between the Bruins and Chris Sale shutting you out.
Celtics are just missing all their shots right now. They'll start falling.
Yeah. Oh man.
Celtics missed like the last 6 or 7 times down the court. It looks like.
Wow. All of a sudden, we're down by 9. Yeah. Things aren't going well.
Oh, Missoula forgot about that timeout he had. It's going to save it, so he has 5 at the end of the game.
I'm a little behind you.
They're just missing layups.
They're missing every shot.
They're missing layups. Yep. Yep.
They got to get Cornette out of there. He's getting
here
abused.
Comes Al. Horford's coming back in.
Let him get away from it.
All right, boys. First of all, the Red Sox. Watching Chris Sale pitch, it just. I mean, that's serious. Is there no doubt if Chris Sale was pitching for the Red Sox right now, he'd already been disabled list?
Oh yeah.
I did not watch it. How did he look?
Well, he looked good.
He had like 9 or 10 strikeouts, 6 shutout innings.
I mean, you know, do people
how hard is he throwing?
I don't 90s.
Yeah, I wasn't watching that closely, Tim. The Bruins game was the more important. I was checking on the score to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I mean, is he mid-90s now with his fastball?
Yeah, times, yeah.
Sale?
Yeah, but the Red Sox are an easy out too. You know, on that road trip, they went 1-5. They scored 9 runs in one game. In the other the 5 losses, you know how many runs they scored? 6.
Yeah. Well, they
That's
just
1 a game. 1 a game. You're not winning games 1-0 all.
Thank God management went full throttle in the
Yeah.
offseason.
Oh my, yeah.
It
I
would
mean,
look really bad if they hadn't, huh?
we have seen so many bad players play for the Boston Red Sox this year. It's extraordinary.
They got rid of one of them today, though.
Yeah,
They
they
traded with
Short
that
well,
Zach
for
Scott.
money. Yeah, Zach Short,
Yeah.
Dominic Smith, Garrett Cooper, David
I
Hamilton,
don't even know any of these guys.
Emmanuel Valdez. This is just on Bobby Dahlbeck. I just can go on and on and on. These guys couldn't even play for Brookline High.
Reyes,
And they're charging top
Hamilton.
dollar. Can you even resell Red Sox tickets these days? I mean,
Well, no, I
are they
mean
even
it's
resellable?
probably not too much.
Half of face value.
I don't know. Russ has been getting some good money for him, right?
Well, he just sold one for on the Saturday or Sunday, yeah. But generally, you
Well,
can't get
for $25 or something.
you can't get any
No,
money.
you got like $50 each.
You can't get any money
Face
during.
value.
He's not getting any. No one's getting any normal money, Joe, for that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I sent you that stuff there. 2 tickets, 2 hot dogs, 2 sodas. I think I don't know, maybe 2 popcorns.
They had that deal last year too. It was always available last year. It's right field. Right
You're
field
looking at the right
Grandies.
field bleacher. You're looking at the right
You're
field
looking at
scoreboard.
basically it's section 8.
Section.
No, Section 8. Section 8's the high end.
Yeah, right.
These are those ones. These are those ones that look out to center field.
Yeah,
Right? You have
like
to turn your
section
head like
3.
this to see the game. Yeah.
But and the Costco still sells the 2-pack for the
I see that.
right field boxes for 120, and you
Box.
get the field box. Upper
Oh,
box. They're
that's
upper
bad.
boxes.
Do you
So
remember when
upper
a box
boxes
seat?
in right field used to be grandstands. Those were
Yeah.
grandstands and bad
You
grandstands.
remember when a box seat meant something? When
Yeah.
it said box seat on your ticket, it meant something.
There was only like 2,000 box seats in that 35,000 seat stadium.
Yeah,
That's
right.
why it meant something. Now,
Yeah.
now it's mostly box seats, I think. But you get, for the 120, you get the 2 box seats and you get 2 of the yellow hats, the city edition hats.
Well, the thing is,
only the newbies would want.
These days, you get in the stadium, you sit anywhere you want anyway. So what does it matter, right?
Yeah, well, I know
You
can
just walk.
sit
You
section
just walk
30.
towards home plate and find something open, right?
It's always
good.
something in section 30 open.
Yeah. We usually have there might be 2 other people in our row usually. That's about it.
But
Yeah.
Plenty of
those
room to
seats
sit back.
our seats are good enough where you're fine sitting there watching the game.
Oh, yeah.
You really,
And you got a place to put your coats and everything.
Yep,
Oh,
you
yeah.
don't even have to upgrade, really. You know what I mean? There is a different experience. So when you're right down on top of the place, there's a different feel to it. You know.
Oh, so we saw
You
Eric.
get a cup holder.
Eric.
So Eric,
Yeah, Eric
Yeah.
was there. Yeah, he's now doing the.
He only
send-
has
did he-
season midweek. He only has weekday nights.
Yeah, weekday nights.
tell him
No,
I said.
no
Tell him I
weekends.
said. Tell him I send my love.
Yeah. No, now who is the other guy? The guy who loved Timmy. Who the guy? Who,
Oh, he hasn't been there for a couple of years.
No, yeah, no. He was a 1-year guy. And the moment at opening day, his first games, him and his wife were fighting. Why did they do this? They for sure wanted out. And he kept on asking me if I wanted to buy tickets. Look, this is all the Red Sox doing. This is because John Henry didn't want to spend money, that they have no depth in any level, pitching, any positional players. They could have been competitive this year.
This is completely the accounting department's baseball team.
They did this. They sabotaged this year because they have some good enough pitching. They've had some great pitching that had they acquired Jordan Montgomery and got some depth positional players, they could have competed for first place.
Re-signed Turner. I mean, negligible moves, not big moves, not big money moves. I mean, just
Yeah.
re-sign a couple guys, like Duval and Turner.
But also
know?
just had Montgomery.
And Montgomery, he didn't end up getting much. What did he get? Like 3 years?
No, 2 years, 25 million.
2 years. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it each year, which for a quality starting pitcher is nothing.
Yeah.
Hey, who are the Red Sox still paying? Who's on that? Who's on that
They're
list?
still paying parts of sales contract
Yeah.
after this year. And then he paid Justin Turner, they had to pay him money. I don't know, Joe, who else are they paying money to?
I'm trying to think.
Are they still paying Sandoval off that hook?
Yeah, I
No,
know.
they finally get that one's gone.
And Rusney
The two
Castillo. It's funny, people don't even talk about the Rusney Castillo. That may have been one of the worst deals ever.
Those two, him and who was the other guy down there that they kept in AAA because they didn't want to bring him up and put him on
Oh
the
my God.
salary cap?
Oh, Joe, I
The
forget.
first baseman.
The guy who played for the Cardinals, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, Joe,
Yeah,
that's
we had two $10 million players down there that they didn't want to
yeah. Oh my
bring
God.
up because it would have put them in the luxury tax. So they had to keep them down in Pawtucket.
They've had some of the highest paid players in baseball playing for Pawtucket and Worcester. Again, but how do you move forward, Timmy? I asked you, Timmy, how do you move forward as an organization? How is 2025 going to look any different if you weren't going to make a commitment?
I think they just John Henry now looks at this like just one of his businesses, and he's running it completely like a business. It's not some billionaire that we loved when the billionaires come in and they buy it and they have a passion to bring a championship to the town and they throw caution to the wind and they throw the money on. Maybe he did at the beginning. And I know that they say, what's his name, left a sour taste in his mouth. Dombrowski.
Yeah.
I think you'll never see John Henry do that again. I think he's going to be watching every penny. Or he has people watching every penny as it goes. He wants to turn a profit, a big profit every year now. I think that's his number one goal now. I don't think he really is concerned about championships I think he's strictly a bottom line guy now.
Joe,
And I think
finished.
the people running it have been those are their marching orders right now.
Yeah.
Joe,
He
they
doesn't
finished in
have
last
the
place.
parties there on Cottage Street anymore, where everyone tells him how great he is for being a great Red Sox owner. Now the Red Sox kind of blasé, so has his parties on the yacht instead.
Joe, if they finish in last place again this year, is anything change, or is that pretty much where we?
No, I think we've been told exactly what the formula is going to be going forward, haven't we? Bring that up, and when they think they have a competitive team, they'll spend for the extras.
Which makes no sense. You have to get the only way you can get a competitive team is to spend money. How do they think that's going to
Not
happen?
necessarily, but you got to have a good minor league system, and the Red Sox don't have a good minor league system. They got a couple of good prospects, but by and large, 99% of their minor leagues is trash.
Joe, we're basically on the Tampa Bay model now, right? Finish last for 8 years in a row and get high draft picks and wait till they come up. And then when it comes time to pay them, you let them go.
Well, you can't do that in the AL East anymore because Peter Angelos doesn't own the Orioles anymore. This new guy says he's going to spend, and they got the best minor league system. They got guys down. They got a better AAA team that would beat the Red Sox pants off.
And I think the Yankees will always spend.
The Yankees always will.
You know what I mean?
Got the money with the Yes Network and everything.
Yep.
And Toronto always seems to have deep pockets.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know we're in
The
trouble.
Yankees are always determined to win. They're always willing to write the check.
I don't think it's
We're battling Tampa for last place.
I don't think
this is like when I was a kid, we were fighting the Kansas City Athletics for last place every year.
But yeah, I mean, and like I've said before, I'm okay, if they don't win all the time. I just want to see some stars on the field. I want guys worthy of me paying money to go and watch play. And there aren't any anymore.
What grade, taking account that we know Celtics on a 9-0 run to tie the game up. Taking account, we know Breslow's hands are tied, Joe, with the budget. Still, what kind of grade do you give him?
Incomplete, because he hasn't been able to make any moves. He's made a lot of these little minor for cash consideration type moves, but nothing that has changed the team in any way, shape, or manner.
Yeah. Timmy, would Henry ever consider selling?
Well, it's tough to sell your team that plays in Fenway when the name of your whole organization is the Fenway Sports Club.
I know, right? That's a good
It'd have
point.
to change a lot. It'd have to change a lot of letterhead, right? I mean,
Yeah, I think does anyone have letterhead anymore?
have they lost value by losing, or are they just hold their value?
I think they're going to lose. I think they're going to lose value.
Well, sports teams almost never lose their value. They appreciate value every year, whether you make money or not in any given year. The value of the team appreciates. They bought that team for what?
700 million, I think.
And now it's
But
worth
I mean,
$5
Joe,
billion.
if they were winning, would they have raised? Would their value have increased versus? I don't know what the formula is for these pro teams. I mean, is it just the market they're in? Does that just dictate? Does it matter if they're winning championships or competing, or if they're continually coming in last place? Does that detract from the value of the franchise?
Oh, it not as far as the sale of the franchise.
No.
Actually, it's easier to sell a team that has a low payroll.
Yeah, well, of course.
Because
yeah,
the guy can, get up the big, get the
All right,
nut,
but
because you're tied.
But if your attendance is down and your TV ratings are way down, does that somehow affect things?
Oh, of course.
I mean, your advertising revenues must go down along with it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everyone, if they're winning, everyone's fighting to be the official team of the Red Sox, the official hot dog of the Red Sox, and the official MRI of the Red Sox.
And that's just checks written without there's no expense in that stuff. That's just them handing you a check. You don't give them anything back.
Yeah.
I mean,
they have to make up the advertising that says that they are the official hot dog of the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah.
Hey,
nothing's on you. You don't have to do anything.
Celtics now all of a sudden up by 5 points. 8 minutes left in the second quarter, guys. 40 to.
I may have to switch over to my phone here, guys. My battery on my iPad's dying. I'm down to like 2%. I'm gonna log in on my phone.
We got to get you an extension cord for your charger.
I brought a charger out here, but it didn't do the trick. Scotty, I'm gonna log off here. I'm gonna log back in. Okay.
All right.
Sorry.
Look, they've come to play, Cleveland. I mean, they're playing better defense. This is gonna be
well, like they were saying, a lot of the Cleveland guys were saying they just come off that Orlando series. Orlando plays the half-court game. It's a slow down. If you win, you win 90-88, right?
Yeah.
Now they're playing the running gun Celtics, who score 115 a game. It's a whole different way to play defense, and they got kind of lulled to sleep by the Orlando series, and now they weren't in the Celtics, especially when they were missing their center too.
I'm glad we didn't play Orlando. Orlando's a little more athletic than Cleveland is.
Oh, and they're bigger, and they're a lot bigger.
Yeah,
you couldn't do what you do against. You wouldn't have Cornette playing.
Yeah,
right. Al would be getting beat up too.
Yeah,
but the thing is, if we play Denver or Minnesota, all our centers get the shit kicked out of them. None of them can compete with Rudy Gobert or the Joker. Jokic is just, they're too big.
Yeah, but
they're big and strong.
Gobert doesn't really have much of an offensive game.
No, he doesn't. But you put him on the low post against Al or Cornette or KP, and he's scoring. He's going to go right through.
I'm not worried about
through their chest.
I mean, that ant is.
But he is an incredible defensive presence. He's the best rim protector in the league.
Yeah.
And when you got guys like Ant-Man and Jaden McDaniels, Carl Anthony Towns, another 7-footer there.
Yeah.
These are good ball players and real good defenders. They didn't finish number one in defense for no reason and they played in a much tougher conference than the Celtics did. Much tougher conference.
All right, Timmy, you're back. All right, we got to go to the Patriots. Oh my God, the video that
Hey, Tim,
us,
you look like you're in a snowy spot in the winter there.
I
I
know.
tell
Right?
you, the temperature dropped about 25 degrees in the last 2 hours.
No, I know it
It
did.
looks
Yeah,
like
it got
snow in
cold.
the background too.
Does it?
It
Yeah,
got cold. Yeah, I know. Well, that was
That's chilly out.
Maybe, it must be
Yeah.
some fog there, Tim. The fog makes it look snowy.
Feels like 51. That feels a lot colder than that.
It does.
Yeah,
It
Yeah.
was. I was a short sleeve shirt this afternoon. Now I'm
yeah.
bundled up out here. Yeah.
Shorts and a t-shirt. I was planting flowers.
Well, you guys probably heard Drake May has moved to Boston. He was at Foxborough today. This is his home. It will be his home for the next 15 years when he plays here, and then he enters the Hall of Fame. First
Did he take Mac
ballot.
Jones's apartment?
First ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, how exciting is this? The Drake May era has begun. Aren't we glad that they
Are we more? Do you feel more confident than you did when Mac Jones arrived?
I
Oh.
do, yes.
Well, first of all, it's a totally different scene, Timmy. He was the 15th pick in the draft. I mean, he's basically like Michael Penix. I mean,
Penix got picked a lot earlier than that.
wasn't there
But I
another?
think he was the fifth. He was the fifth quarterback, though.
Yeah, I mean, we were just happy to have any quarterback at that point.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. What I like about this kid is he's got a Josh Allen arm and body. I don't know if he, has the skill that Josh Allen has, but he seems big and durable. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? That's and he's got a gun. He can make crazy throws like with the flick of a wrist. That's encouraging.
And
And
he's going to have to be big and strong because, it's a team like Jim Plunkett and Drew Bledsoe inherited.
Yeah.
Pretty bad teams, and you get beat up a little the first couple of years.
You remember seeing pictures of Mac Jones with his shirt off. I mean, he had breasts like Tim Hoey. You know what I mean?
And everyone said, "Oh, it's all right." Tom Brady wasn't that good looking.
Yeah. He had the breasts of a 65-year-old man, and he's only 22. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what a terrible physique he had.
Awful. So you knew he was going to be like ducking for cover in the pocket all day.
But May doesn't seem like this moment's too big, going to be too big for him. He looks
He
like
seems excited. He seems like fired up to get going. You know what I mean? Like genuinely excited to start playing.
Yeah. And that's a good comp, Tim, the Josh Allen, because that's a lot what he's like. He likes to run. He led in 22 when he had his best season, the 38 touchdowns and only 5 interceptions. He led the team in rushing with 700 yards.
Yeah. I'll take anything. I'll take anything even close to Josh Allen. I'm a big Josh Allen fan.
I couldn't be more excited. I think he's going to be great. And you start from there and you move out. Would you like to see the Patriots acquire anyone through free agency before we start the season? There's still some guys.
I'd like to see some receivers.
Well, they have so many right now. I don't think they're going to add to that. Do you think?
Well, I mean, we can certainly upgrade, Scotty. We're not at the high end of receiving core in the league, that's for sure.
But now, when you have,
they're all like freaking run of the mill guys.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
remains to be seen the two new guys, Douglas and Bourne, for sure. And then the two new guys, because they were drafted, they have to make the team. Unfortunately, Tyquan Thornton probably makes the team because of his draft status. I'd like to see that kid. What was his name? Jalen Reagor, the one that was a bust with the Eagles and a couple other teams. He looked good, like he had turned the corner last year.
But they gave that.
I just hope they got Thornton living in the weight room right now, drinking milkshakes.
But they gave that Osborne $3.5 million guaranteed, so he's not going to from
He
Minnesota.
should.
He's
Yeah.
staying. He's one of the
Hey,
wide
hey,
receivers too.
speaking of the Patriots, Tom Brady, Rose, we're going to discuss that at all?
Oh my God, absolutely.
Yeah,
You want to just
My favorite line of the whole thing was, Tom, you lost 30 million on crypto. Even Gronk said, that's not real money.
that was
I thought that was the joke of the night.
yeah. Joe, did you watch it?
I taped it, but I haven't gone back and watched it because I've seen so many clips and heard so many clips over the course of this week. The
My
one I
God.
liked best, I think Bledsoe came the closest, and I guess he wrote every joke with Tom that he said. But like
Really?
he said, you know, his record and his career stand for themselves. There's no way you can make fun of that. So you have to get personal with him. There's nothing else you could do. You couldn't roast him on his career.
Yeah, but I thought
Tom, were you a little suspicious that your wife was taking 10 jujitsu classes a day, you know?
but he
I
produced
mean,
that with Jeff Ross. So
Yeah.
he knew
there was nothing
exactly what was
sacred.
going to
My
happen.
God. Oh,
But
well,
why would a guy
he did get up and say something. He brought Kraft's massage history up there.
But
He didn't like that.
why would you expose yourself to 3 hours of people calling you gay? And first of all, I thought a lot of parts were very funny. I was gay and a bad father. I mean, look, in the gals out, I was a stand-up comedian for many years. I completely understand, but I don't know why he would do that.
Yeah,
I
when it
think he
starts
wanted
off
more
with,
exposure for that analyst job. He wanted a higher profile, higher Q rating, where he hasn't been around the league. His Q rating has probably dropped dramatically. What I want to ask you, Scotty, is you know these things. All the clips, the sound clips and the video clips that have been on every sports show over the last week of it, does he get royalties on those
No,
too?
no. Netflix is allowing those guys to do that to just promote their stuff. So they'll,
when it starts off, the first line is, "Hey Tom, was that 8 and 9 season worth your wife and kids?"
oh, I know. Oh my God. I know, but I mean,
Woo, woo.
the only time he got mad was when they did a joke on Kraft, not when they were ragging on him for being a terrible father.
Or his wife. They were making fun of his wife.
Well, Giselle was mad, but then she's the one. She's not the victim there.
She's getting half of that money. I don't know. She's still getting half.
What do you think?
No, he gets half of hers. She was making more than him.
What do you think he made for that night?
I have no clue.
Multi-millions.
You could have a better guess than we would, Scotty.
Pete said 20 million.
Ooh,
I wouldn't be
that's a
surprised.
nice payday for a night.
I would not be. That's like him going to work every day for CBS Sports for a year, right? I mean,
He would need I assume if they were charging people to get in, then I would say about probably around 20 million bucks. You got something to get for that.
well, they most of the people they had to be comped for the entrance fee, right? I mean, the celebrities.
Yeah, right. They weren't. I don't know, but it used to be those kind of events that you couldn't charge, if you remember. Those kind of TV events. Those were coming on the gals that like it's a live TV event. I wonder.
People's agents would pick up the tab just for make sure that they get shown on the telecast.
I'll have to see that. I'm interested to know that because that came together pretty quick. I thought like all of a sudden I heard on Monday they were going to do it. Next thing you know, it's live on Sunday.
Who do you think did the best, Scotty?
Uh-oh. Drew Holiday's hurt. Uh-oh.
What's he grabbing at? Tell me it's not his knee.
When I look up, I must be way ahead of you because
they
tell me he's jogging off.
He hit knees.
He hit knees?
Yeah,
okay, hitting knees is okay. Twisting knees is bad. When you're just running up the court and you fall down, that's bad.
Oh, when you bang knees though, going knee on knee, that hurts.
Yeah, it hurts. It hurts, but you bounce back from that. It's a bruise. You come back from bruises. You don't come back from tears.
Well, Cavaliers have shown a lot more life than they did last.
They're
2 nights.
competing for the rebounds. Remember last game, the Celtics owned every rebound, offense and defense.
So we got ourselves a game here. It's 51-47.
Celtics.
Celts.
Yeah,
Okay.
51-47. Patriots, they need running backs. Does anyone
I
talk about?
was surprised they didn't draft at least one in the 6th and 7th round.
Yeah, they're really weak in running backs. They need to go get some
I
guys.
mean, our best running back last year was Zeke, and he's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. He was better than Stevenson. Would you agree?
I don't think Zeke is signed yet.
Zeke's
they're
signed with
real
Dallas,
low.
didn't
He signed back with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Oh, did he? Because last I heard he hadn't resigned. Everyone expected him to, but he hadn't.
No, but I think they
I'll
get
tell you,
pretty big dough too. I mean,
I gained a lot of respect for him last year. He gave it his all.
He
Yeah.
was fantastic. Oh man, I would have loved to have him back.
Oh yeah, extra effort was his middle name last year.
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
God. And he could catch the passes out of the backfield. I mean, he was everything. You couldn't have dreamed of a better player. And for a
So
guy,
who do we have for running backs right now? We have Stevenson.
Ramondre,
we have-
yeah.
That's
Stevenson,
it.
we got the kid
And
Gibson from Washington.
Montgomery.
No, Gibson from Washington. And we have like Kevin Harris or something, right?
I think he's gone.
No, I think he's
he
there.
is strong. What happened to him?
No,
He
we
might be
traded him
gone.
to Cleveland. Kevin Harris is still with the Patriots.
Yeah.
I mean, they need to get somebody quick,
You got to be 4 deep at that position, right?
at least.
Well, one of those receivers or tight ends, I think projects
Oh,
Yes.
Bell.
as like a third down back, like J.R. Redmond or
Oh, yeah, the 7th round pick.
White.
Yeah. Other than May, who are you most excited to see in training camp?
I'm looking forward to seeing that 4th round pick. He's got a kind of a checkered past. He was a 5-star recruit, but then couldn't hack it at Alabama because there was all those good guys for him. So he went to Central Florida,
Baker.
still shooting his mouth. Yeah, Baker, and led the world to drops. But he's also got a world of talent.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's why he went all the way to the 4th round, was because he's got a big mouth and he drops a lot. But he does have more talent than even guys in the 1st and 2nd.
Yeah,
Really?
he's going to end up being either boom or bust. No, in
He's
between.
the Butte of this year. That's a guy that's not going to make the team. Kenyon Butte.
No, oh yeah, that was a waste.
Butte. I'm going to change my name to Butte, I think.
Then you'll get a lot of Butte.
Yeah.
Timmy, who do you think?
Good cocktail party fodder, though.
Well, at the very least,
You don't need any lines, Tim.
Don't
Timmy,
call me
I'm
Tim.
pretty
Just
sure
call me Butte.
Timmy, I'm pretty sure you've had a number of aliases in your life.
Vic Savage was my favorite.
Mick Savage.
That's what I was known as in Kenmore Square through the 70s, Vic Savage. To all those Emerson and Windsor, Emerson College and Emmanuel College, when they first arrive in Boston, they get to meet Vic Savage, Harvard football player.
VIC.
Harvard football player.
Oh my God!
Starting free safety.
Starting free. You had yourself as a free safety.
I was only about
He weighed less then.
I was only like $185 at the time, so I had to pick a speed position.
Who's to argue?
Mom, I'm dating a Harvard football player.
Yeah, he's a free safety. I know how you think that. So that you must be telling the truth if you're like saying I'm a free safety.
Yeah.
Oh, I had it down.
No, if he was lying, he'd say he was a quarterback.
Exactly. No one's buying that.
From Minnesota. I'd have to hide the Boston accent.
I know
I'd
that.
have to pronounce my R. I'd have to pronounce my R's for a few weeks,
You could get
Jamaica Plain, Minnesota.
before the internet. You could get away with a lot of shit.
Oh my God, there was more lying going on in Kenmore Square and Faneuil Hall than
The internet
You can
ruined it
believe
for everybody.
Yeah.
Totally did.
Google, Facebook.
Timmy, who you looking forward to seeing?
Well, I'm hoping this offensive lineman we got, the high pick there.
Wallace?
Yeah, he's got to produce. He's got to be out there in the starting lineup. I'm hoping.
I don't think he's gonna be, Tim.
I know he won't be, but I'm hoping. I mean, we desperately need some help there.
Yeah. Well, isn't it weird trying to convert a guy who played in college right tackle to left tackle? Why didn't you just draft a left tackle?
Why? How many left tackles are playing college football right now? I mean, come on.
Draft
Not many good ones.
Apparently, which is
There
hard to
shouldn't be
believe.
any trade with who. Atlanta got Penix. They need right tackle because he's a lefty. So trade them. Trade with them. Have them give us their left tackle. We'll give them a right tackle.
Now you're thinking. That's thinking outside the box, Joe. There you go.
Okay, Jaylen Brown just literally with a few seconds left was just dribbling, lost the ball. The Cleveland guy grabbed it, and then Jaylen fouls the guy with 2 seconds left. They're being stupid. This half
It's tied at half.
they're just being idiots. They're not being.
I wonder what the Celtics shooting percentage is. I'm hoping low, and that would explain where we're at.
They're driving to the hoop and they're getting a lot of free throws. I every time I look up, they're at the line.
Celtics are.
Again, I mean, look, Cleveland's got to be ecstatic going at halftime being tied up at 54.
Well, this is a game.
The over-under is 220, I believe.
This is a game where Jason Tatum has to take over in the second half, right? I mean, if he wants to be discussed in that category, this is a game where he has to, say, "Well, can't get on my shoulders, boys."
Yep.
Well, what I have seen so far, he is taking it to the hoop, which is why he's drawing the fouls. But
which is what I like to see, Joe.
Yes,
I like
because
to see
if he gets double teamed, you just kick it out to D White sitting there draining threes.
Yep. Take it to the hoop. Either get fouled or kick it out, right?
Or Holiday sitting in the right corner, sitting there waiting for you. Throw it to him, he'll sink it. He hit almost 50% this year from the corner. He was number 1 in the NBA corner threes.
They just showed a picture of John Havlicek. He would have done really well in the current NBA.
Oh yeah, he'd do well in any iteration of basketball.
Absolutely. I mean, he would have been 25 points a game.
Oh, and run people into the ground.
Oh yeah.
You didn't have to rest him. You didn't have to nurse him through the year.
Yeah,
no, that's for sure. All right, well, that's our show for tonight, boys. Want to thank, of course, the fellas. Please check us out on our website at thegrandstanders.com and tune in again next Thursday night at 7 o'clock for another edition of Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerr.